is part 3 of the syllabus for Comp 2, English 122, Section 801. This section will be going over the grading of assignments and explain some of the rubrics and things that I'll be using to make sure that you do well in this course. So general grading is that we have A's, B's, C's, D's, F's, right? 90 to 100, 80 to 89, that sort of thing. I do round up at the end, especially if you are doing well, participating and all that sort of good stuff. So please keep that in mind, that I do try to give you the benefit of the doubt. However, if you are a student that decides to only check in every once in a while and does the bare minimum, that is the grade that you have earned, and I am less likely to round. I am not required to round up. So if you get a 59.5, I do not have to round it up to a 60 to allow you to pass the course. So please do your best. Let us see. So we have a lot of different summaries and different assignments. I can't read and talk at the same time. The course total is going to be roughly 1,500 points, with the bulk of it from writing. So basically all of this from here on down is your major writing assignments. Coursework, our busy work essentially. Summaries, I'm going to have roughly 10 summaries for 100 points each. 100 points each, 10 points each. Discussion boards, there are about 30 discussion boards in our course schedule, so they're worth 10 points each. And then journals, we have 5 journal assignments, 25 points each, which is going to be 525 points, meaning if you don't do these things, you will probably not pass the course. It's going to make the main difference between A's and B's and C's. We have drafts and conferences, so having drafts of your work is going to be important, and I'll see on the schedule when those will be due. But your book review draft, draft review overview, literature review, editorial analysis, research draft, and call to action, those will add up to roughly 300 some points. I think I can't math that quickly. 325 points. So that gives us our 800 points for just weekly assignments. The bigger things, our book review is worth 100 points. Research project in total is worth 200 points. Your presentation is worth 100 points. Your responses, you have to watch 10 and comment on 5, is going to be worth 200 points. So roughly 40 points per response. So they have to be good. And then your final paper, the capstone reflection, is going to be worth 100 points. So that is the general basic build of the course, so you know where to put your effort and your time. Some important things: I do like to treat all of my students equally. With this equality comes with the responsibility of the adherence to my policies. I can't make exceptions for missed work due to scheduling conflicts, nor I'll provide a failing student opportunities to pass because the student might not graduate, lose eligibility, or lose a scholarship. These are important things, because why should I grant somebody extra opportunities that accommodate a situation that not everybody has to deal with? It's not fair of me to allow one person to do something and not the other 59 people. And so for my sense of equality, I have to allow all of you to do that. So it creates more work for me. So it's very important that we just do the work. Show up to class, log in, basically showing up, trying your best, and then going on along with that. So if you do have questions about the grading, your grades that you're receiving, please let me know and we can talk about that. I do reserve the right to change, revise, or adapt the syllabus when necessary in order to better suit the needs of this class. I will never change it to your detriment, meaning I won't add an extra 500 points of writing assignments or things like that, because that's not fair. That's not what you signed on for. It will only be to your benefit. That might be moving an assignment back a week. It might be dropping an assignment. Those are important things. When it comes to evaluating your writing, we have these basic definitions. An F paper is just basically crap. General lack of form of sentences, overall organization to be confused, and basically not know what it's talking about. Hopefully we won't see a lot of those, but we might see some. If we go all the way up to an A, it's virtually error-free, so it's high standards, higher attention to the precision of idea, language than a B paper. Demonstrates some grace of expression and employs correct diction and has mature sentence structure. So there's a lot of good things that are in an A paper, but please recognize that an A paper is not necessarily perfect, but it's rare. I hate to say rare because I do give A's. I'm not one of those people that doesn't give A's. Whether or not it's perfect, that's another question. So I will never say the word perfect. To better help us out, we have this rubric. This is the basic rubric, and this is not a typo. It's just I forget what that's called, but it's just the size of the column. It just kind of shifts it over. This is what I grade on for all of our major papers, major writing assignments. Context and purpose. Does your paper display clear awareness and understanding of the assignment? Do you write for the appropriate audience? Do you demonstrate awareness, rhetorical elements, and argument, stance, etc. when necessary? So basically, are you doing what the assignment asks you to do? And that is worth 20% of the total grade. Development and organization. Is it clearly defined thesis and controlling idea? Is there a logical flow throughout the paper with clear introduction, body, and concluding paragraphs? Do they all work? And that's a general problem with student writing, is that I'll have a great conclusion and introduction and then several paragraphs in the body that don't relate to what the conclusion says or the thesis says. Do you use appropriate word tone or word choices to form clear sentences? That sort of stuff. That is 20%. Topic and discipline. When I talk about topic and discipline, is this an MLA paper? Is it following what the assignment genre is asking you to do? So again, does the paper do what it's supposed to be doing for the assignment, and are you following the guidelines and the appropriate formatting style? And then support and evidence. This is also 20%. 20% is support and evidence. Provides sufficient support for your thesis and claims. Do you use credible sources? So basically, if you use all Wikipedia and random websites, that is not going to follow under good evidence. And then finally, mechanics. This is also 20%. Proper grammar, correct punctuation, spelling errors, things like that. So at what level are you working? So keep in mind that if you have an unreadable paper because of poor grammar and spelling, things like that, it's probably going to affect all of these other things. But just because it's out of 5 doesn't mean it's a perfect paper. There might be some errors, but it doesn't really affect the reading of the paper. So we have to think about how it all works together. So you can refer to this rubric throughout the semester. I will have Turnitin rubrics will be posted, and you'll be able to read that when we have papers graded. So that is basically an explanation of the grading for this course.